everybody. This is Brian Hilger, and I'm with John Susanin of Colliers, who runs our office division here. And we're here to talk about our new third quarter market report just released. John, what are some of the headlines here that we've seen in the third quarter?
I guess the most important thing to talk about is there is an office market, and that's what everyone should feel comfortable about, is that the rumors about the office market being dead and gone are not true. What we're seeing, Brian, is really a little bit of a resurgence in the market overall, and that includes the CBD of Philadelphia, includes the suburbs up to the Lehigh Valley and even down in Wilmington. I think one of the biggest misnomers that people have is that the change in the office market was due to COVID and people not wanting to come in. What we're finding is that's not the case. What's changed now is that the finance markets overall have really precluded overall office development. So as the interest rates are coming down, we're seeing lenders start to be able to get back into the game and refinance, recapitalize, and do things they need to do. What's happened in the last year is the exact opposite of that. And that's why you've seen in, for example, the CBD of Philadelphia, where we at Colliers are estimating there could be approximately 5 buildings in the CBD that are not in some sort of debt or financial situation. What we like to call the business of special servicer being appointed to work with the lenders. And I think that's a major factor.
So, John, what areas are you seeing flourish right now in this type of market?
Certain submarkets within the submarkets have areas that are strong. For example, in the CBD of Philadelphia, 1, 2, and 3 Logan are still knocking it out of the park. They're getting rental rates that are close to $50 a foot. And other than that, really, West of Market is doing fantastic. Now, on the flip side of that, other submarkets within the city are still struggling. And I think that's going to be the trend. If you go to the suburbs, you're seeing Conshohocken, where we're sitting right now in the beautiful area here, is still very strong. We're getting rental rates that are in the mid-40s across the board, and vacancy rates down in the single digits.
What's the attraction at Conshohocken? Why is it doing so well?
It's the old story about location and access to amenities. So, for example, the train runs right behind us. So I think you're looking at where can your employees get access to the buildings, where can they get to work? It does go back to how do you draw people into the office.
John, if I'm a tenant right now or a broker for a tenant, what concessions could I get from a landlord? Or what are some of the trends tenants are?
You need to know about your landlord. You need to understand who your landlord is and, frankly, whether they're fiscally responsible and what their financial strength is. For tenants, there are plenty of opportunities out there. It could be a great time to sign a lease when a building is in slight distress, as long as there is securitization of the lender or it's in special service and there is money for tenant improvements. One of the things to look at is when a building goes into default, it's not going to be torn down. So there are opportunities there for you to press for making deals.
And John, for a while, after the pandemic, we saw a huge amount of shadow space or sublease space. Are people starting to eat it up a little bit?
Yeah, you're starting to see that, and eat it up is probably not the right word. I would argue, no, it's not a bad word. No, it's not that. I would argue that it's burning off. And so what we're starting to see, that's okay, industrial. What we're finding out is that really as the terms of the leases that were made, particularly during COVID, when everyone went home, those were 5, 7, and 10-year terms. Those are going back to direct lease, where there is money then for that space to be divided up and to be amenitized and built out the way it needs to be for a modern tenant. That being said, we are slow and steady. I've always laughed about the Philadelphia market. Our highs are never that high and our lows are never that low. As a result, we have a nice, robust market overall. Our vacancy rate in the region is still under 20%. It's only going to get better.
John, how about office investors that are looking at? What are some of the things they're looking at when they're valuing a building?
Well, some of the issues for investors right now are that you can't get financing. In the next 6 months to 12 months, you're going to see lenders, assuming interest rates come down, there will be opportunities for people to get financing to become lenders. Otherwise, they really are a lot of bottom feeding right now, where you can't get financing, and what do you do? So it's been a very difficult situation for the last 12 months.
And in terms of being a landlord, are there new amenities that they're providing that we didn't see 5, 10 years ago?
Absolutely. And every major building now has to have amenities. If you don't have amenities, you're going to be left in the dust. And so the idea is that you could get away with a Holiday Inn size fitness center with one recumbent bike, that doesn't play anymore. Now you need to have a true fitness center. You need to have a training center, as well as the cafe. From the landlord's perspective, if it helps you sign one more lease, then it's worth it.
What do you see for the end of the year? How's activity, and what type of things are we going to see the next couple months into the first quarter of 2020?
Assuming the economics remain robust, with interest rates coming down, people who have kicked the can over the past 3 years are going to start being forced to make some decisions. We're going to see those people getting into the market to do something. And what's happening also is that tenants who already downsized are starting to take more space. And that's not saying doubling in size, that's saying taking 10 or 20% more space. So from a landlord's perspective, the more flexible they are with the ability to demise their space and to increase will be great for them. And from a tenant's perspective, as they go and relocate and look for opportunities, they are now starting to think about the future. Where are they going to be in 5 years? how can they get more space, and choosing buildings that will work with them for that.
Wow, so it sounds like you're pretty bullish coming into 2026, and the outlook looks pretty bright.
Yeah, but I'm a broker, so I'm always bullish.
And that's all here from Conshohocken. We appreciate you watching, and there'll be more in our retail and industrial components as well.
Thanks, everybody.